Sunday 9:12 p.m. You are always transported to a new universe. Your job is whatever is in the envelope in the right pocket of your jacket. But this time there is no envelope. The familiar tingling started at exactly 9:11 p.m. I closed my eyes, steadied my breathing, and waited for the shift. Like always, my stomach lurched as reality bent around me, the air crackled with static electricity, and that metallic taste filled my mouth. When the sensation passed, I opened my eyes to find myself standing in what appeared to be an abandoned warehouse. Shafts of pale moonlight cut through broken windows, illuminating dust motes that danced through the stale air. The concrete floor was stained with dark patches I didn't care to examine too closely. Standard procedure: check the envelope first, then assess the surroundings. My hand moved automatically to my right pocket, fingers expecting to brush against the familiar cream-colored paper that would tell me who I was supposed to be for the next week. Empty. I checked again, more deliberately this time. Nothing but lint and a loose thread. My left pocket held only the standard kit: pen, small notebook, basic first aid supplies. I patted down my jacket front, then back. No envelope. Shit, I muttered, the word echoing slightly in the vast space. In 7 years of jumps, this had never happened. The envelope was everything. It contained my identity, my mission, my purpose in each new universe. Without it, I was just, what? A displaced person with no context, no role to play. The sound of distant traffic filtered through the broken windows, along with the occasional wail of sirens. At least this universe seemed relatively normal, similar to my original timeline. But without knowing my assigned identity, I had no way to know if I was supposed to be here in this warehouse, if someone might come looking for me, or if I was trespassing. I pulled out my notebook and checked the last entry. Universe 371. Marcus Jones, Night Security Guard at Meridian Labs. Objective: prevent theft of prototype QB7. Below that, I'd written complete in my usual red ink. But now there was nothing new, no next assignment. A door slammed somewhere in the building. I pressed myself against a concrete pillar, listening intently. Footsteps, multiple sets, moving with purpose. Check the east wing, a male voice called out. He's got to be here somewhere. Were they looking for me? Or for someone I was supposed to be? Without the envelope, I had no way to know if I should run or reveal myself. The footsteps grew closer. I spotted a metal staircase leading to an upper level and moved toward it, keeping low. The steps were solid, but I tested each one carefully before putting my full weight down. Did you hear that? Another voice, closer now. I froze mid-step. Sweat trickled down my back despite the cool air. This was wrong, all wrong. The envelope always provided context, objectives, background information. It told me who to trust, who to avoid, what to accomplish. Without it, every person was a potential threat, every situation a possible trap. The beam of a flashlight swept across the floor below. I held my breath, pressed against the wall at the top of the stairs. The light passed beneath me, moved on. Nothing here, the second voice reported. Moving to section C. I waited until their footsteps faded before allowing myself to breathe again. My watch read 9:47 p.m. 35 minutes into this jump, and I was already hiding from unknown threats in an abandoned building. This wasn't how things were supposed to work. The upper level contained rows of old office cubicles, their fabric walls gray with dust. I moved between them carefully, looking for anything that might help me understand my situation. Most of the desks were empty, but one contained a stack of yellowed papers. The letterhead read Kronos Industries. My hands started shaking. Kronos Industries, the company that had recruited me for the universe jumping program. But in my timeline, they operated out of a gleaming office tower in downtown Seattle, not this decrepit warehouse. I pocketed the papers and continued searching. In another cubicle, I found a framed photo face down on a desk. When I turned it over, I nearly dropped it. The image showed a group of people in lab coats, and in the center was me. But I'd never worked in a lab, had never worn a coat like that. The me in the photo was smiling, arm around a woman I didn't recognize. More voices echoed from below, closer now. I heard the squeal of metal as someone started up the stairs. Drive, Harrison? A woman called out. We know you're here. Please, we just want to talk. Dr. Harrison? The name meant nothing to me, but they seemed certain. I looked at the photo again, at my other self smiling confidently at the camera. Was this who I was supposed to be? The experiment wasn't meant to splinter this way, the woman continued. We can fix it, but we need your help. Experiment, splintering, the missing envelope. My head throbbed as possibilities clicked into place. What if I wasn't just jumping between universes? What if each jump was creating new ones, fracturing reality with every transition? The footsteps reached the top of the stairs. I had seconds to decide, reveal myself and trust them, or run and try to figure this out on my own. Without the envelope's guidance, either choice could be fatal. Time to make your own decisions, I whispered to myself, and stepped out from behind the cubicle wall. The woman who had called out stared at me, her expression a mix of relief and concern. She looked exactly like the woman in the photo with my other self. Kyrie, she said softly. You remember me, don't you? I didn't, but for the first time in 7 years, I had to write my own story. Tell me everything, I said, and prepared myself for truths I might not want to hear. She reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out a familiar cream-colored envelope. Maybe it's time you did more than just read the instructions, she said, holding it out to me. Maybe it's time you helped write them. I took the envelope with trembling fingers, but I didn't open it. Sometimes the most important missions are the ones we choose for ourselves.